Hello everyone. This video is the start of a new series in which I will summarize the key aspects of last week's cybersecurity news. We start with Evolve Bank and Trust LockBit attack. So the incident was that Evolve Bank and Trust, headquartered in Arkansas, fell victim to a significant cyber attack involving the notorious LockBit ransomware. The attack compromised sensitive consumer data, potentially affecting 76 million Americans. The incident occurred because an employee clicked on a malicious link. So this shows again that awareness campaigns are nice, and I'm sure Evolve Bank had those, but your security mechanisms should also safeguard against employees acting carelessly. So this is usually called zero trust, and you can find more about this in my channel. So far the attack didn't spread to any of Evolve's customers. And LockBit itself is a highly sophisticated ransomware strain that encrypts victims' files, of course, rendering them inaccessible. The attackers usually demand a ransom payment in cryptocurrency to exchange for decryption keys. Next story, General Motors Credential stuffing attack. So GM faced a Credential stuffing attack. The attackers exploited weak or reused passwords from an unrelated data leak to gain unauthorized access to GM My accounts, affecting only a limited number of users. Hackers could have gained access to their names, addresses, phone numbers, and the last 4 digits of their payment card. It is worth noting that massive amounts of leaked credentials are available for hackers, so make sure to use safe passwords and check yours against leaks. If it is leaked, change it. Also, of course, don't reuse passwords for multiple accounts. This also reduces the risks of a hacker gaining access to your company account. So credential stuffing is a common cyber threat where attackers use stolen usernames and passwords from one service, often obtained, as I've said, from previous data breaches, to gain access to other accounts. Next, Microsoft Xandr privacy breach. So a relatively modest complaint could turn into a huge fine for Microsoft if regulators decide that the tech giant's subsidiary, ad broker Xandr, is guilty of privacy breaches. The non-profit privacy platform, NOYP or None of Your Business, claims that Xandr violated the principles of data minimization, data accuracy, and did not give data subjects, in this specific case an Italian citizen, access to data or allowed them to erase personal data. Authorities in Italy now have 9 months to respond, and Xandr could be fined $20 million or more. Next, Frankfurt University Cyberattack. So the Frankfurt University of Applied Sciences experienced a cyber attack, forcing it to shut down its website and IT systems. They also shut down the elevators, which hints at the attack being either extremely serious or a bit of an exaggerated response. Either way, we don't know yet, since no details about this attack are public. Next, OpenAI's internal systems breach. Now this is very interesting. So in early 2023, a hacker apparently gained access to OpenAI's internal systems and stole details about the company's technologies. So vulnerabilities in OpenAI's infrastructure allowed unauthorized access. The stolen information could have implications for AI research, intellectual property, and competitive advantage. One of the named adversaries is China, stealing sensitive AI secrets. Hackers were able to infiltrate OpenAI's internal messaging system, getting access to employees discussing recent advances. This hack further highlights that you should never share sensitive data with an AI, which you do not control, of course. You never know where your data ends up. Staying with AI, examiners in universities failed to detect AI-generated content. Now, this is not very shocking, but 94% of cases, examiners failed to recognize AI-generated responses. So detecting AI-generated content obviously remains challenging for academic integrity. As AI models improve, distinguishing between human and machine-generated work becomes increasingly difficult. The only thing we can do in academia is to move on to other methods of examination. I think it's impossible to grade students on seminar papers if ChatGPT can write proper papers within seconds. Next, a little bit of world news. NATO summit highlights constant cyber threats. So as heads of NATO members states gathered in Washington, D.C. for the annual summit, experts emphasized the ever larger and evolving cyber threats to the alliance. These threats include disinformation schemes, or which we just simply call lies, and intelligence gathering. NATO is understandably most worried about actors from Russia, Iran, and China. So cyber wars are part of everyday wars for a while now. And disrupting critical infrastructure is almost always part of any invasion, as we have seen in the Ukraine. If you want to know more about that, I have a whole playlist on cyber warfare on my channel. So now to some lighter and maybe a bit more embarrassing news from Microsoft. Microsoft's breach notification emails end up in spam folders. So Microsoft's attempt to inform customers of Russian hackers going through their emails resulted in delivery into spam folders. One of the problems is that the email includes a link which doesn't look genuine at all, which you can see here. So it's purviewcustomer.powerappsportals.com. So if you are wary when you see that link coming from Microsoft, you're right. Moreover, recipients were asked to provide their tenant ID and email address, so understandably, many users thought that this is phishing, and rightfully so. Finally, ransomware increases hospital mortality rates. Now, this is a very interesting study. This is something that has been going around for a while now, but is only now being apparently, well, there's now evidence for that. So the deaths of hospital patients due to ransomware attacks are very real. Mortality rates typically increase by around 20%. So I talk about healthcare a lot on my channel and what we can do to not jeopardize patients' privacy. But of course, more importantly, hospitals must prioritize cybersecurity to protect patients' lives. In fact, security should be viewed as important as like fire safety. Both save lives. And that's it for this week. These are the most important cybersecurity news stories of last week. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is there a story I missed? Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you gain any value out of it, and I'll see you in the next video.